Welcome to this explainer. If you're a homeowner, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You wake up on a freezing morning, stand in front of your thermostat, and realize the house is just cold. It's a dreadful feeling. You see, furnaces, they don't last forever. And usually, they don't just stop completely all at once. Instead, it's a slow burn. They start failing in multiple, little, incredibly frustrating ways. And that leaves you trapped in a really common dilemma. Do you keep pouring money into ongoing heating repairs, or do you finally just bite the bullet and invest in a full replacement? Well, today we're going to break down the specific signals you should be looking for so you can make that choice with absolute confidence.
So, is it time for just one more fix or a full replacement? It's so frustrating when you just aren't sure. You call a tech, they patch it up, it works fine for a month, and then boom, something else breaks. Now, obviously, only a licensed HVAC pro can confirm the absolute best option for your specific home. But the source material we're digging into today outlines some very clear warning signs that scream, it's time, rather than let's just try one more fix. We're going to empower you to spot those signs yourself.
Okay, here's our diagnostic roadmap for today. 1. Age and cost. 2. Performance and efficiency. 3. Noises and odors. 4. Safety red flags. And 5. Making the final decision. Let's dive right in. Starting off with Section 1, Age and Cost.
Right off the bat, most furnaces have a standard service life of roughly 15 to 20 years. That's your typical window. Of course, this depends heavily on things like how well you've kept up with routine maintenance, the fuel type, and your local operating conditions. But here's the crucial takeaway. If your unit is sitting in that 15 to 20-year range or pushing past it, and you're seeing frequent problems popping up, a replacement is likely going to be way more cost-effective. Continuing to patch individual components when they're all reaching the end of the line at the exact same time, well, that's just throwing good money after bad.
It really comes down to weighing frequent, expensive repairs against the cost of a full replacement. If you're calling for service again and again, that is a massive red flag that internal wear and tear is accelerating. Our sources point out a really helpful financial threshold here. Just look at the cost of the repair. Does it add up to a substantial chunk of what a whole new system would cost? This is especially true if you're fixing different major parts. Like if you're replacing the thermostat one month, repairing the ignition system the next, and then the blower motor or the heat exchanger acts up, those aren't single recurring faults. That's systemic failure. An upgrade is simply the smarter, more cost-effective move here.
Moving on to Section 2, Performance and Efficiency. So, a furnace that's struggling to distribute heat properly is going to leave you with cold rooms or weird hot spots around the house. You might notice wildly fluctuating temperatures, or maybe it really struggles during cold snaps, where the unit just can't keep up when the temperature outside really drops. Also, definitely keep an eye out for noticeably climbing utility bills. Now, if this happens, absolutely try troubleshooting the basics first. Change those clogged air filters. But if a new filter doesn't fix the inconsistency, the pattern really matters. The culprit could be failing blowers, underlying duct problems, aging burners, or maybe your current furnace is just improperly sized for your home.
The bottom line is, running longer and cycling improperly wastes fuel. Think about it. If your energy bills are going up, but you haven't touched the thermostat setting, your furnace is having to work overtime just to achieve the exact same result it used to. It's either running way longer to hit that temperature, or it's turning on and off in rapid, improper cycles. This means it's losing capacity and efficiency. When you see this, and routine maintenance hasn't fixed it, it absolutely warrants a much deeper investigation into the system's overall health.
Let's look at Section 3, Noises and Odors.
You really have to use your senses here. A little bit of minor noise during the initial startup, totally normal. But persistent, loud noises, that's a completely different story. If you're hearing persistent banging, rattling, squealing, or grinding, you need to pay attention. These harsh sensory cues point directly to physical breakdown. We're talking worn-out belts, failing motors, or loose internal components. Basically, your furnace is mechanically crying out for help.
And it's not just what you hear, it's what you smell. I want to shift to a much more serious tone for a second. If you detect a strong smell of gas, the scent of burning plastic, or a really persistent mustiness coming from your vents, these unusual odors should never, ever be ignored. A gas smell could obviously mean a leak. Burning plastic means something is overheating dangerously. These have to be treated incredibly seriously and addressed immediately by a professional. Seriously, do not wait on these.
That brings us to Section 4, Safety Red Flags.
I want to highlight this stark warning pulled straight from our source text. Quote, "Issues involving the heat exchanger can be dangerous and may require urgent action."
If your furnace is showing any signs of incomplete combustion, meaning it's not burning fuel safely, or if it's flashing warning codes at you, you need a technician to inspect it immediately. A cracked or failing heat exchanger, that's the metal shield keeping toxic exhaust away from your breathing air, can allow dangerous gases like carbon monoxide to leak right into your home. This is the very definition of urgent action. And honestly, it very frequently means a full replacement isn't just a good idea, it's a mandatory safety requirement.
Finally, Section 5, making the final decision.
So, what do you do next? The crucial thing is to take these steps in order. Step 1, request a full diagnostic inspection from a reputable HVAC contractor. And they shouldn't just look at the furnace box. They need to check combustion performance, airflow, cycling behavior, and those vital safety controls. They should also see if poor ductwork or bad home insulation are secretly causing your heating problems. Step 2 is to check the overall efficiency ratings of potential new units. And Step 3 is to compare those repair quotes against replacement options and specifically look around for rebates and incentives.
When you are looking at Step 2, the efficiency part, you're going to see a term called the AFUE rating. This is simply a measurement used by HVAC contractors to estimate the overall energy efficiency of a heating system. Basically, it just tells you what percentage of the fuel the furnace consumes is actually being turned into usable heat for your home. Understanding this rating is key. When you combine the knowledge of a new, highly efficient AFUE rating with your current quotes for repairs, and you factor in any of those upgrade incentives, you're going to be able to make a highly confident, mathematically sound financial decision.
So to sum it all up based on the sources today, multiple warning signs at once means replacement is the smarter long-term choice. If your system is over 15 years old, it's making grinding noises, the bills are creeping up, and it just can't keep the house warm, replacement is undoubtedly the way to go. Yes, there is an upfront cost, for sure, but a full upgrade will ultimately dramatically improve your home comfort, it'll lower your month-to-month operating costs, and it will greatly reduce the risk of you experiencing a freezing, unexpected breakdown right in the middle of winter.
I want to leave you with a final thought to reflect on today. Take a real look at your own system. Run it through the diagnostic roadmap we just covered, and ask yourself honestly, is your furnace ready for the coldest days of the year? If you are seeing these signs, don't wait for it to fail when you need it most. Get ahead of it, call a professional for an inspection, and take control of your home's comfort and safety. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this helps you make the absolute best decision for your home.